Well, Schwalmingen went better than I thought it would. We are officially nearing the end of the Lifetime Grand Prix. Headed into Little Sugar, the most technical race on the calendar. Little Sugar is a race I've been scared of since we started in April. It is the most technical race on the calendar. It's the first year it's been included in the Lifetime Grand Prix, and it is a very technical cross-country endurance race. I would say for me it is more of a mental test than physical. Currently sitting in 4th overall, and I just want to get through it feeling like I moved forward, not backward. Get ready for 2 weeks of back-to-back racing in Bentonville, starting with Little Sugar, ending with Big Sugar, where the rocks are tougher than my competition. Happy to be back. Happy to be back. Well, the 5th time of the year we've done this? 5th time? 5th Grand Prix race? We are in Bentonville, Arkansas. We are at Oz Trails. We are in the legendary mountain bike capital of the world. Yeah, this is the first year of back-to-back racing weekends, Little Sugar, Big Sugar, inside the Grand Prix. I'm pretty stoked. It was definitely a hurdle to get around mentally, though, just planning. It takes a lot of planning to execute races like this. The amount of time we stay and getting all the bikes and equipment and tires all to the one place and be prepared. But yeah, once we land on the ground, it's kind of nice to be in one place for the last 2 events. Last couple days have been pretty relaxed. That was kind of the goal, is to get in and keep the days moving, but simple, and hopefully go into the race, not feeling too much pressure. I think what's interesting is Little Sugar and Big Sugar are drastically different races, but they on the ranking board, they're the exact same amount of points available to grab. Little Sugar is the only proper mountain bike race in the Grand Prix. It's 60 really hard miles and insanely technical. You won't see anybody out here on drop bars or funny bikes. It is a proper race. Almost dead. Yeah, from the beginning of the year, I've looked at Little Sugar as kind of this big dark cloud hanging over the Grand Prix for me. But honestly, today was the first time I got out on course and was feeling like everything was ticking and we're going the right direction. And I'm kind of excited to see what I can do. But that does not mean there are not a lot of nerves. On paper, Little Sugar's not made for me at all. I've tried to get in a headspace where I'm mentally and physically ready, and then kind of let the day give what it gives. Yeah, the course is just something that for me is not easy to ride. I struggle to find that balance between riding at my physical limit and my technical limit. They're very different. And so I go into Little Sugar thinking, okay, I can ride this hard because that's my technical ability. And I need to focus on how to not flat, not crash, and make it through the event, as opposed to trying my best into every corner. I have to look at it as a full course and not just split it up into all these little sections. Where should I go? Biggest prep I've done is about just doing some skills with Bridge Drew, checking out kind of the 2 big cruxes of the course. My goal is not to be a good mountain biker, honestly, in the next couple days. My goal is to just find a couple moves and feel more confident on the trails. Did that yesterday. We rode one of the 2 black trails, and we're gonna go ride the second, very well known, ledges, so that I don't fall off and die. The ledges specifically is really about belief, was what it became for me. A lot of times in mountain biking, I didn't grow up looking at big rock piles, and you come into them, and the reality is the only way through is up and over. Good. Good, stay high.
Move your body.
Yeah.
Get out of the saddle,
Yeah.
let the bike come up into you. Get out of the saddle, let the bike come up into you. If you move your body up over those, they'll minimize how much they're slowing you down, and then you're not worried about it, so you're not trying to pedal through it as much.
Look at this guy! I think the small little technical sections are pretty mental. I don't think they make a massive decision in the whole race, but it's that feeling of progress forward not stopping, kind of pulling your bike over is always great. And it feels good to ride the whole course as opposed to kind of knowing there's sections that are going to stop you up.
Good, heels, heels, heels.
I say this with love and respect for my Grand Prix compatriots, but I wouldn't say anybody thinks that I'm a good mountain biker.
Oh, he already knows. Use his brakes less. We've totally been over this, dude. That was the first thing I told him when we rode together at Whiskey 50, pre-riding. He's like, what are your tips? I'm like, count to 3 before you use your brakes, because you use them too much.
I think Matt Beers and Keegan are the guys to watch. Very quickly behind them, I think you can't ever count out Cole and Braden. They're spectacular mountain bikers. I mean, riding behind Braden today was overwhelming. There was a moment that I was riding behind Braden and we were in a small section and I am like focusing as well as I can, stay on the wheel, pay attention, and he's drinking. One hand on the bars. It's demoralizing. Hey guys, the day before the race, it is always supposed to be simple. It's never simple. We're rushed the whole day. I'm gonna go do some packet pickup. I'm gonna pre-ride the last little bit, and Avery's gonna go to the media meeting and then interview Cole. Okay, here goes 2 hours. Woody daisy. Bentonville's on fire. Kohler was hopping with all the people getting ready for Little Sugar. Rolled down to pick up packets, met up with Rich in the ride series to do a little more skills and kind of chat with some friends. And of course, Willie had to see his fans.
I would say this is the first official mountain bike race in Grand Prix history, which I'm stoked for. Yeah, I came from mountain bike cross-country racing, and so like a lot of the mountain bike races that we've had in the Grand Prix, they're really, I would say, mellow. But this race, it's proper. Like you really have to have your skills on point and your equipment on point. There's lots of tight switchbacks, a ton of loose rock, and you have to be able to read the trail and anticipate what's coming. The clearer the trail is in front of you, the better you can ride your own pace. But then where you can really lose it is just puncturing. Like there's so many sharp rocks out there, and if you puncture, and which is inevitable out here, that could really hurt you. I mean, half of the Grand Prix field comes from a like dedicated XCO background, which is pretty sweet. So it's kind of like all the big culprits. But yeah, the thing about this one is anything could happen and anyone could puncture. Every Grand Prix race is hard, but this is just a different demand on the body and mind. Yeah, no, I'm stoked. We're not putting together sketchy mountain bike setups. It's a real mountain bike race, and I'm here for it.
This course is about efficiency. This race is lost in every corner. 10 watts in every single corner. That's like thousands of corners, you know?
Support this week has been a little elevated, which is awesome. Derek's still wrenching, but he's kind of been here helping out with tire pressure, pre-ride stuff, kind of the whole shebang. Chris is here kind of doing everything in between. He's helping film with Avery, he's helping drive.
Oh yeah!
He ran out and got dinner tonight when I kind of had forgotten to go get pasta. Always been impressed by what Avery and I can do alone, but she had one person to that, and it becomes pretty clear that it becomes a fully functioning team. And having that for the next 2 weeks is definitely going to be a big help. Yeah, I think we're going to Little Sugar with kind of all to play for in the top 10 of the Grand Prix still. There's going to be a lot of shaking happening the next 2 weekends. Even Keegan theoretically doesn't have it locked up, although I would say he pretty much does. This race plays to his strengths. Plan to me is just find a balance. I want to go in to the first single track fighting for position, but not too far up that I'm in front of a lot of guys that can go faster than me the whole day. The last third of the race is where I'm going to make up the most time I possibly can. To me, it's not a question of Grand Prix points in any way, shape, or form. It is really a fight on the day, on Sunday at Little Sugar, because on paper, I don't finish in the top 10. I think a lot of the guys that I'm looking at making moves are guys like Cam Jones, who's right behind me, Trekky's right in front of me. Guys that look like they're outside the race can easily make a jump. I feel like there's a tension in the air. I think everyone is focused on trying to be the best version of themselves tomorrow. That'll probably break. We all hang out next week and see each other everywhere in town. There's a lot of guys I haven't seen, whether they're hiding or just focusing on what they got to do. I feel like that's all going to snap tomorrow at 8 a.m. and from there we kick off the finale. Morning started pretty simply. Ate a lot of oatmeal. No French toast sticks. Just couldn't make it happen. I wasn't very hungry. Hydrated, did some activation, hung out with Willie. It was a weird morning because Avery left with the crew early to go get to the start. So I was kind of alone for the last 45 minutes, and then just had a nice little ride down to the start, down to Kohler.
Happy to have all of you joining us here for the 3rd annual Little Sugar Mountain Bike.
Our first call-up, he's currently 5th overall in the Lifetime Grand Prix. Please welcome Kerry Jones to the line. Alexi Vermeulen.
A dream miracle day is top 5. Literally everything would have to go right for that to happen, and I think 2-3 guys that I think would be up there would have to have mechanical. I think a top 10 is very attainable, but again, I have to execute flawlessly for myself. And then right around that top 15 is where I think I put myself as a mountain biker. And again, that comes down to just kind of being in a weird place because that's kind of where I'm at with my drop race. So 1 point up, 1 point down can make a big difference. Outside the top 15 will be hard to swallow.
3, 2, 1. We are officially underway. Make some noise for our top rider. Lifetime Grand Prix, our lead man, 100 kilometers.
The start is very giddy up and wait, kind of jump off the line, and then everyone gets behind the motorbike in the car for 2-3 minutes. Eventually they pull off, and it's guns a-blazing. The next 2-3 minutes is the hardest part of the whole race. We're following Keegan and Tobin on the side, going into the grass. We got swarmed. I kind of found myself pretty far back as we got close to the entrance of the single track. Probably entered in top 25 or so. I think it's kind of not like people expect, is it's such a dogfight for that pinch point. And then from there, it's almost full stop into all the corners as things kind of bungee out and forth over and over. Pretty quickly, front group went away. You watched Matt Beers and Braden and Cam ride away. And I just kind of focused on the wheels ahead of me. Got through pretty simply. I was pretty happy. As we got into probably 15, 20 miles into the race, things start to separate a little bit. We probably had groups of 5 to 7. And you'd have things slow and groups come back together and they'd separate again. Majority of this race is all single track, and so there really isn't places to pass unless someone lets you. You could force it in a couple places, but it's tough. Around mile 25, started realizing I was nursing a flat. I'd come into a big compression and bottom out my suspension. Had a little pinch flat, somewhat perfect timing. Rolled into the aid station 5 miles later. It's always a little bit chaotic in those moments because you have a big plan on what's going to happen. You're going to come in, I'm going to have this bottle from Derek, and Avery's going to film, and I'm going to grab my feed bag from Chris. And all of a sudden, everything's kind of thrown on its head. Derek's changing the wheel. I'm kind of trying to take all my stuff out of the bag from Chris. Chris is trying to hold the bike. And the biggest worry is that you're going to forget something, leave something, the extra gels, the bottle, the ice sock, or you're not going to tighten the through axle. It's just, there's so much going on. So it felt good to get through that, have air in my tire again, and focus on the task ahead.
50 seconds to Keegan, Cole. Pretty sure everyone in the top 20 of this race has flatted so far. So it's pretty much a competition of who can keep sealant in their tires. And so far in the tire sealant competition, I believe Cam Jones is leading that category with Braden Lang about 30 seconds back. But they're charging. It's a good day out there.
From there, it was burn the engine hot up all the way to the finish. Definitely started making some mistakes toward the end. I kind of knew going in the positions would be constantly changing all day. You'd have big changes, people flatting, crashing, random mechanicals happening.
Another flat.
Once again, my whole focus was just trying not to lose positions and focusing on being consistent, and hopefully just having kind of an attrition rate happen throughout the day that allowed me to move forward.
How far is he? 40 seconds spacing.
Yeah, I mean, the finale, I was trying to chase Payson down. Kind of crazy where I felt like I was gaining on him at certain times, and I'd kind of make mistakes and get in my head. This race is never over till it's over, so I was trying to just kind of put that in my head and use it as a mantra and keep moving. But at some point I realized I might not see Payson again. Honestly, came out of the race really stoked. Wasn't my dream scenario, but it was a very successful day. I think I finished 16th overall, 8th or 9th in the Grand Prix. Going into this race, I said that I wanted to be top 10, and that was the goal, mainly because 11th and 10th are my drop races from Leadville and Unbound, and so I wanted to be above that and feel like I progressed forward in a race that's not made for me, and that I would argue many would count me out. I expected there to be a bit of that just comes from people having bad luck days. There was moments today where there's guys I thought I'd never see again. Payson had a mechanical super early and then fought back through the ledges and finished 2 or 3 places up from me. Truckee was in the front group fighting for a top 3 podium and didn't finish the race. And those things are really affect the Grand Prix overall. Brendan already had his drop race at Leadville, and so that puts him really far out of contention going into Big Sugar on Saturday. And then someone like Cam, who was sitting in 5th behind me, winning the race, it really makes it interesting because now he has a chance to fight for top 3 pretty simply, and it's kind of impossible for me to catch him. So overall, I'm sitting here pretty happy. It's a weird feeling though. I don't feel like I physically gave my all. There's parts of me, like my arms, my hands, are tired, but I'm not like physically exhausted because there's a lot of that course that I can't go all out. I have to hold back a little bit. It's a really weird feeling, but I'm at peace. It's definitely a race that I've been worried about since we started this in April. And I think even just parts of me that didn't even want to be vulnerable last night to the camera, like I really wanted to just at least beat the roadies, right? I wanted to beat Simon, I wanted to beat Toby, and they were both ahead of me in the Grand Prix, and I think I found some solace as that happened on course, where I just like focused on my race and didn't allow, Simon flying through the field at one point to change my goals. Yeah, and now we get to turn into a different type of pressure next Saturday, because Big Sugar, having won last year, is gonna be a big difference, and yeah, the roads are carnage out there. It's easy to see the Grand Prix go away again. So it's pretty cool to see the progression I made on a mountain bike, and looking forward to kind of what I have next weekend. Next up, Big Sugar. We got a week in Bentonville in between. A little bit of training, keeping the engine running, but a lot of it's gonna be recovery. Getting ready for a very different type of race. Back on the gravel bag, back on the Mog, but still trying to find the right tires and the right tire pressures. So stay tuned. Maybe a video in between. Avery and I are trying. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.